Welcome, everyone, to Vikings Playbook. I'm your host, Steve Hoikkala. Sunday starts here with Vikings Playbook. As always, we had a preseason NFL game, the Giants taking on the Vikings today. We're going to cover that, as well as what I actually saw at training camp. And we have some cool giveaways that we're going to be doing today. To include, guys, if you're a subscriber and you got some time before I do the giveaway, but make sure that you jump in there. That's an autographed Jordan Addison jersey that's going to one of our lucky subscribers, and that's going to be a giveaway tonight. So exciting stuff, guys. Make sure that you jump in to being a subscriber in order to get into that giveaway. And I'm going to bring onto the stage with me tonight Rap from Vocal Vike on social media on X and also on YouTube, Vocal Vike. Make sure that you're following him for the Purple Pop Pocket podcast that he does on YouTube. So make sure you're following him if you're not already. He does some great stuff on social media on his channel. He's been a good friend and good supporter of mine as well too. So can't say enough about Rap and how much he's helped me as well. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Rap onto the stage. Rap, how we doing tonight?
Man, I'm good. Appreciate you having me on, brother. You know, this was something we've been talking about, and we're finally here, and football's finally here. I mean, this is just an exciting time of the year, man. I'm excited about this show tonight. You know, I was telling Steve, you know, usually this is past my bedtime here, but you know what? I wouldn't rather be doing anything else. Back in my days, I would be in the club or something somewhere on a Saturday night right now, man. But you know what? This is better. So much
Well,
better. Talking Vikings football with my brother.
well, it's a big night. We
It is a
had
big
not
night.
only a Vikings preseason game, we got a giveaways to go. I just got back from training camp. You know, I
Yeah.
see that we got TJ PDX in the house, Norris in the house, Barber Fade Up is here as well, and we
Let's
got the
go.
real Sir D, Darren Wang's in the house. Thanks for joining. I appreciate that. And we also got SKOL Mafia and Two Tone in the house too.
Let's get it, man.
We need to cut down on them flags. He's saying. I don't know. I kind of like the flags in the back. I don't, what do you mean? You going after Raps flags?
All
Are
my
they getting in the
flags.
way?
Shout out Norris, man. Norris is in the building. Norris got that flag for me, man. Hey, and
Well,
then most of the people in the chat actually signatures on this flag, by the way. So like I have over 100 signatures on this flag behind me, and most of it are people that are in the chat, I'm sure. So shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all. But
guys, like I said, we're going to be doing that Jordan Addison jersey giveaway. That's going to be later towards the end of the show. So make sure that you guys are sticking around for the whole thing. Very exciting stuff. We got to see some actual Vikings football today. So those of you that have just been reading in practice what's going on, you actually got to see a little bit of Vikings football. Hopefully, in your area, you got to see some Vikings football today, or at least you got to see some clips of it. So we're definitely going to get into that and talk about it. As always, make sure that you're following Vikings Playbook on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and it's Vikes Playbook on YouTube. Again, you have time to get into the giveaways. And as always, if you have questions for myself or show guest Rap, make sure that you go ahead and throw those into the chat. We'll try to answer those questions as best we possibly can. Or if you have topics that you want us to talk about, make sure that you throw those in there. Please make sure that you're spreading the word about this podcast. I'm putting in a lot of time and work into this to try to give you guys some purple news as often as I possibly can. It's weekly at 9 p.m. CST. I appreciate all the support that you guys have given me so far. And that's why I'm doing giveaways. And that's why I'm going to do another giveaway that I'm going to announce tonight. So exciting stuff. I want to give a shout out to my show sponsors, starting with That's Badass Wood Art. Vikings Playbook is brought to you by our podcast sponsor, That's Badass Wood Art. Go to their website and use code PLAYBOOK to receive 10% off on any products on their website. That's pretty badass. Luis said Badass Wood Art. He does some great work. I want to get
I got
my
a
own
piece
logo
right here behind me, man. So shout out to him.
Yeah, so logo. I want to make sure that I get my logo in the back done by Luis. I'm really excited to do that with him. And then I also got to give a shout out later to my other sponsor because they're helping with this giveaway. But I'll do that as we get a little bit closer. Actually, I'll do it once. I'll run it again before we do the giveaway. But shout
Yo,
out to Sports Legends USA.
The Vikings Playbook Podcast is brought to you by SportsLegendsUSA.com. Check out their website for all of your Minnesota Vikings legends, upcoming appearances, and signings. And remember to use code PLAYBOOK for 15% off in their shop for your favorite merchandise. Sports Legends USA, connecting sports legends with fans, one legacy at a time.
All right. Thanks to Sports Legends USA. I actually stopped by in person to see them today, this week. And Ben Thies, CEO over there at SKOL Marketing and Sports Legends USA. He's partnered with us to not only sponsor this show, but also for our next giveaway. So pretty exciting stuff that we'll unveil at the end of the show. So thanks again to Ben and sportslegendsusa.com. Go check it out in their shop. They got a lot of stuff in there, some good Vikings merchandise. Go check that out right away at sportslegendsusa.com. All right, guys. Appreciate it. I see some more people rolling in. Again, end of the show. We're not only doing the jersey, but we're also doing a card break, guys. So if you've never been on this podcast before, we do a free card break at the end of the show. So stick around for a chance to win at a card break as well as the jersey. And if you're on X and you're watching this, you need to switch over to on YouTube because for the card break, I can't see your comments if you're trying to comment on X. So you need to jump over to YouTube to get in the giveaway for the card break. And of course, you want to be a subscriber for that jersey. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump into our very first topic that we have tonight. Guys, you saw it. It was the preseason victory over the Giants. You may have saw, the different tweets I was shooting out throughout the game, trying to get you, so if you didn't get to watch it live, you were working, checking for updates on Twitter. I was trying to give you as many updates as I possibly could, as far as not necessarily play by play, but I was giving a ton of updates today during the game. We're going to talk about the different analysis of that game and kind of get some of your reactions. Just first reactions from Rap. Rap on this game. Did you get to see it live? And what did you think? Just initial reactions from the game.
yeah, I was able to watch it live. I watch every minute of it. It's a win is a win. It's preseason week one, so obviously there's going to be some hiccups to here and there. But again, I think the defense looked really good. I think some young players flashed somewhat, and then you had some players like Caleb Banks, for example, that got washed out a lot during the game, which was unexpected. I expected to hear a little bit more from Chuck Demmings. Didn't really hear too much about him, and then Ty Felton dropping that pass. You hear about what it is, and I know we're gonna get into you being at camp, Steve, but you hear players at camp and you get excited like, yo, I can't wait to see them play on Sunday or Friday or Saturday, whatever, during the preseason, because you're like, yo, these young players, you're hearing them at camp. I can't wait to go see them. And then it's like, bro, they sit here and they go out to the game and it's just like, man, what's happening? Like, what's happening, man? Like, dropping passes and stuff, man. So I don't know. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the next preseason game brings us, being that we got joint practice and stuff like that. So yeah, man, nothing too crazy. We will get into the JJ talk. Hippie's funny. Hippie said he don't want to hear no what. So I kind of went off. I went off earlier on my live. That's what he's talking about, bro. Like I kind of like, I ranted a little bit about the JJ McCarthy thing, but I'm gonna be on my best behavior over here on my guy's channel, man.
No, and that's okay. There was some
Yeah.
frustration with today's game for sure that we're going to talk about, and we're
Right.
going to go ahead and jump into it first. I got a busy graphic for you guys to take a look at, and these were a lot of my thoughts and what I took away from the game.
Okay.
So again, the score by quarter, you can kind of look at the scoring summary, but game flow, and top performers, QB snapshot, defensive standouts. We're going to talk about all of it.
Yeah.
Top performers I thought from this game, Aaron Jones, I thought he only got, again, we're looking at first team offense, and there's some different things. They only got limited series. They got one series in it, but the series that they did have, Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason,
Yeah.
stars, and that's also a co-star for our starting offensive line that was out there. 3
Yeah.
carries, 27 yards for a 17 average running the game. He had a long run of 12 yards. So our running game in that first drive, it looked promising. We ended up not moving the sticks at the end on that third down pass that, again, in my opinion, wasn't placed where it needed to be by Kyler Murray on that third
Yeah.
down, on that 3rd and 4 that we ended up settling for a field goal. But Jordan Mason, he was also impressive. He had a 15-yard explosive run on there too, 3 carries for 17 yards. He had that big jump cut. So we had a huge hole for him, but he made that huge jump cut to get like an additional 7 yards out of that run. I thought that was really good for those guys. And Miles Price, I thought he was really impressive in today's game. He had that 17-yard reception from McCarthy, the 28-yard reception from Wentz, and of course, the fade from Wentz. And it was a one-handed grab. I mean, it was a sideline fade. So he kept his feet in bounds.
Yeah.
Got space from the defender and still had the wherewithal to catch that with one hand and stay in bounds. It was a pretty nice catch, and not only was it a great catch, it also kind of asserted himself hey, Ty Felton had an okay day, but he also had that big drop where he had to resituate himself with the defender, but it still hit him in the hands and the chest, and he dropped that third down pass. Now, that was a pass from McCarthy that he ended up dropping, and yes, he got in the way that probably protected the defender from getting to that ball as well.
Yeah.
But in the end, he ended up dropping that ball, and when it's a competition, I have Ty Felton right now as wide receiver 4, but I tell you what, Miles Price, I've had him at wide receiver 5, but could he be wide receiver 4? So, I mean, something to keep watching, guys. Will Reichard, automatic, right? So,
Yeah.
Reichard is an absolute beast. So, yeah, he was good as always. He had a great day today, and yeah, that's a misprint there. But he had I accidentally put 2 54-yarders in there, but he had a 35 and a 54-yarder. But yeah, Will Reichard was great. Brett Thorson holding for Will Reichard. I thought that was absolutely something to watch for the punter battle.
Wow,
And
my guy Steve broke it down to the field goal, the kick holder, the place holder.
Brett Thorson was holding today, and that's going to be something he didn't do before he came to Minnesota. So this is all new, but he's been good at doing that. And I also saw him doing that and working on it in practice with Will Reichard as well. But even though he's a international player exemption,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that he still can't win that job from Johnny Hecker. So that's going to be really important if Will Reichard likes him. It's a roster exception, but he's definitely maybe a preferred holder for Will Reichard this year. When we take a look at the top performers and what I broke down, Rap, any comments on the top performers? Is there anybody I'm missing, heralding that should be on here? I know we can maybe mention Carson Wentz because of his performance, but is there anyone that you thought was a top performer to go on his? Now, I do have defensive standouts, but top performers,
Let
I'm
me see.
mainly
Defensive
talking about offensive
standouts.
players.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I didn't, because I did have you. I see somebody on your defensive standouts that I would have said. No, I think that's really you hit it on the head with those top performers. The run game, like you said, was strong coming out the gate, which I like to see. There was a situation later in the game that Kevin O'Connell kind of went back to his ways that I don't really agree with during a 3rd and 1, where it was 3rd and 1, and he had I think Carson Wentz, if I'm not mistaken, it was in the game at the time. Put him in shotgun when we could have just ran the ball and picked up that first. It was during a time too where you really could have milked the game. It was prime time to start running, keep running the ball. And he decided to pass the ball on 3rd and 1. But I mean, I like what our run game did coming straight out the gates. And then, like you said, Miles Price, love that. Miles Price said not so soon when it comes to putting Ty Felton at wide receiver 4. And then we talked about this probably a couple weeks ago. I forget who I had on, but we were talking about Miles Price being a one-trick pony. Like, hey, Miles Price is punt returner and kick returner, and the team's going to value that because that position is hard to replace. People may think, oh, it's easy. You can go get anybody to just do kick return, punt return, whatever. But it really is a valuable position. And when you find somebody that's doing it at a high level, and you kind of want to hold on to that guy and make sure he makes the 53. But Miles Price is actually making an argument to be an actual wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. And if he keeps playing like that, I don't think they're going to be able to keep him on the sidelines too much longer. I like Miles Price, man. I think Miles Price, obviously he's an underdog, being an undrafted free agent. I'm going to root for the underdog every single time, and I'm definitely on his side. I think he can make some noise this season. Even doing like using him as a gadget player too, because he has the ability, he has great vision. That's why he's so good at kick return and punt return, because of the vision. And so, like, if you run him on sweeps and stuff like that, man, I think it can get interesting. It'd be fun, man. So, no, you hit it on the head.
People were asking me during the game too, like in mentioning that Miles Price, he's a better returner when we were talking about Ty Felton, Damon Claiborne that were out there, and they were the main two that were doing the majority of returns today.
Mm-hmm.
But Dylan Bell was out there a little bit too. But with those individuals out there, Miles Price, the reason he wasn't out there is because he's a lock. He's the primary. So they're not trying to get him injured in a preseason game back there doing punt returns or kick returns. But he was battling today for a wide receiver spot, and I thought he made a good showing, and that's kind of the reason and his role today in this offense. All right, taking a look at some of our defensive standouts before we get to the quarterbacks. Dallas Turner, he showed up early, and that's great to see. Obviously, there's a lot of hype, and a lot of expectations for Dallas Turner. He had that sack on Jackson Dart that, probably, it killed the drive early, got everyone excited. But then Jay Ward, his sack on Dart, now he beat his guy on the edge. And smacked Jackson Dart, made him go to the tent for a little bit.
Sent him to the blue tent.
He did. Now, to Dart's credit, he came back out and ended up throwing a touchdown to Malachi Fields. But, and that was against Ivan Pace Jr. today. And that was kind of a jump up ball. Malachi Fields, by the way, for the Giants, looked good today.
Can I talk about that too?
Yeah,
because like real quick, everybody's on Twitter or X, whatever. Cut Ivan Pace, blah blah. Listen, bro, Ivan Pace during that play, that was amazing defense, bro. You couldn't play defense any better than that. The only that was a bang bang play by a 6'5" receiver that can jump out the gym going up against a linebacker that is 5'10" and can't jump at all. But if you look at the play, Ivan Pace was on his hip the whole entire time. Jumped up. That was literally just God. All right? Like Malachi
was doing work today.
Yes, that's it. Like, I know people are like overreacting on this, like, oh, well, Ivan Pace. Now, he did get cooked on that screen to Tracy. I'll say that missed tackle where he kind of got caught out of position. That's a play where you're like, all right, Pace, what are you doing? But
Malachi Fields made catches on Demings and James Pierre today.
That play specifically, Malachi Fields was going to catch that against anybody on that field right at that point. Nobody's out jumping him, man. That was a great throw. Let's give Dart some credit too. Great throw to just put it up where nobody else can get it but his receiver. I mean, but if you actually look at the play, Ivan Pace was there. Ivan Pace was right there, jumped right with him. He just ain't tall enough. You know what I mean? If Ivan Pace was 3 inches taller, he would have broke that play up. It would have been a great defensive play. That's it. You know, so I know people are like dissing Ivan Pace, man, but it's like, come on, man. That was actually good defense if you really just sit back and look at
he stayed with him. It was a
Stayed with him.
50-50 ball, and
Thank you.
that's basically what happened is, he got out jumped for that ball. And Malachi Fields, he was heralded as a
You know,
pretty good
that happened to
receiver.
me against AJ Green in real life. AJ Green did that to me in real life. I don't know I know you know who AJ Green is.
AJ Green for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah,
back in
AJ
the
Green
day.
for the
He did
Cincinnati
that to
Bengals,
a lot
man.
of
He
people.
did that to me. I was on front of the newspaper where I'm at. I was on front of the newspaper, man. AJ Green, that same thing. He dunked straight on me like that, bruh. But you know why? AJ Green was 6'6" in high school. All right? I was 5'10", 5'11". Bruh, I had
Yeah.
no business trying to jump with AJ Green, bruh. Like
Well,
facts, and I was on his hip.
Well, that Ivan Pace Jr. is, why was Ivan Pace covering Malachi Fields? So
True.
some of that had to have been a matchup. So credit, probably a motion type play where they tried to get Malachi Fields in the right situation with a good matchup against a linebacker like Ivan Pace Jr.
Yeah.
But that's something I'd have to watch back that play and kind of see what happened. Were we blitzing on that play? I know Jackson Dart did roll out and with someone chasing on him. I know we had a
Tid.
Vikings player that
I
almost
think Tid was chasing him.
yeah. So I mean he still made a good throw. Again, a 50-50 ball, trusting his receiver to go get that against the linebacker.
Yeah.
Elijah Williams, I thought had a really good day. He had a sack on Jameis Williams. Jameis Winston. He's one of those players that he was a standout in preseason last year and in training camp. I'm hoping he makes an a Redmond type push this year and takes that big step.
Mhm.
So we'll see if he takes a Jalen Redmond type step this year. But I really like Elijah Williams. I think he's going to be a really good rotational player for this defense. More of an unknown, undrafted free agent, defensive standout. He got an interception, Jacob Roberts today versus Brandon Allen, who had a rough day. He had 2 picks, almost a third one.
Yeah.
After a ball was tipped later in the game by Johnson II. And then also Jacob Thomas. So not Jacoby Thomas, but Jacob Thomas,
Mhm.
the other safety. He had another interception as well, too.
Which he had a
QB
great game. He had a great
Yeah.
game, Loki.
Yeah. QB snapshot, though. And shout out to Flores' defense. I mean, they did a really good job today. We had some key sacks at key times, interceptions that really snuffed out drives for sure. Two Tone says 99. Yep, that's Elijah Williams.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Jacob Thomas, James Madison.
UDFA from James Madison. Yep.
Yep. QB snapshot now. We're going to get into the quarterbacks, guys. Quarterbacks. Kyler Murray, and I'll talk about snaps, and everything, but Kyler Murray only did 1 series. And again, he had that one throw where he had a hand in his face and ended up getting it to Addison, got reviewed, and they upheld it as a catch. And then he had that throw behind Jones on 3rd down that I talked about earlier. It was just 1 series. He was 2 of 3 for 10 yards. They moved the sticks, but it was mostly, as I covered with their top performers, Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason and the offensive line before they got that field goal. So that was kind of Kyler Murray's series. Nothing big that kind of stood out for me. JJ McCarthy, his day was, kind of up and down, I thought as well. Could have been, bigger if Ty Felton makes that catch.
Yeah.
Even though it's a contested one, I get it. But if it hits you in the hands and the chest, you got to catch that ball. 17-yard touchdown, 17-yard pass to Miles Price was kind of his highlight, but he got 4 series. He had 1 field goal and then 3 punts, and then he took a sack where, you got to get rid of the ball. You're holding the ball too long, or take off and run with it. Carson Wentz, and yes, Max Brosmer played today, but I'm covering the guys that are, I think, going to be on the roster. Carson Wentz, 9 of 14, 81 yards and touchdown. He actually came back in. I'm not sure the reasoning why he came back in for Max Brosmer, but
Rosmer's thumb.
oh, his thumb. Okay. 28-yard pass to Miles Price. He had the 17-yarder to Jayshon Jones, who looked good today as well. 1 yard touchdown pass. We talked about the one-hander. And to be honest, Wentz just looked comfortable. And I know that there's Wentz haters out there too, but Wentz did look comfortable today when he was back there. He didn't look hesitant. Yes, were there an opportunity on one of those plays where he should have ran with the ball? The Miles Price 28-yarder. That was probably a 50-50 ball as well, where Miles Price got airborne. He's a smaller receiver, but got airborne and made sure on a contested catch to come away with that ball, and then still scampered for maybe like another 10 yards after the catch. But, I think he looked comfortable out there, but it's still QB 1, 2, and 3 in order how I have it there on the sheet. Your thoughts on the quarterbacks, Rap?
So I think, there wasn't enough there to really get excited or get down about Kyler Murray. Obviously, 10 yards, 2 for 3. That's not really. It's hard to because of the stars that you have on that list, Steve, with the running backs. Our running backs just came out really strong, and Kevin O'Connell continued to run the ball on that first drive, which was great. But let's talk about JJ McCarthy really quick here and why I kind of went off on a little rant here earlier. He makes, there was a report that came out maybe, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, where one of these GMs, it was one of the anonymous thing, and the GMs come out and they write reports or whatever, and they talk about how JJ McCarthy just makes the game look hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just makes it look hard. And this is coming from somebody who supports JJ. I wanted to see him do so good, man. But as I'm sitting back and I'm watching him, like, even to throw to Miles Price, that play, if you go back, and I went back and watched that play before we went live. If you go back, he should have released that ball about 3 to 4 seconds before he did. He's having trouble trusting what he's seeing, man. Like, he needs to really just start letting the ball go. I think it's going to cost him, man, because he's having to see these receivers wide open before he throws the ball. And when he does throw the ball, like, that throw even looked like luck. The mechanics on it just looked horrible. And when I'm watching JJ McCarthy, today going into the game, he was the one player that I'm like, all right, JJ should go out there and look comfortable. Like you said, Carson Wentz looked comfortable. You could see it. You could almost feel it through the screen. When JJ McCarthy is out there, I feel no hope. Like, I don't even feel like we're going to get a first down. I don't feel like we'll score a touchdown. It's just that feeling just isn't there with him, because I just feel like he's kind of struggling. His processing and everything is just not there yet. Now, I'm not saying it could never get there, but it's not there yet, in my opinion. And watching the game just irritated me a little bit because, it's one thing to be a supporter of JJ McCarthy, but it's another thing to try to make, this would really rubbed me with the whole Kirk Cousins thing, where there was so much of us fans that would make excuses and blame every single thing else around him, instead of just saying, Kirk Cousins just had a bad game today, man. Like, that, it's okay. Like, he just had a bad game. So I'm getting there with JJ McCarthy, where it's like, hey, like, why is it that we can't use JJ McCarthy? Just may not be that great of a quarterback, and specifically in 2026. Why is that not an option to be able to use when you're speaking about him? Because to me, man, I just don't see the growth. It's underwhelming, man. And I know it's just the first preseason game, and it wasn't a ton of passes, so it's not like I'm sitting here trying to, well, the career's over. But I think, like, if you tell me that we would have to go into a season starting JJ McCarthy, man, my confidence level is just low. That's just kind of where I'm at, man. I just don't know. It was, to me, this game was weird, man, with JJ, man. That sailed pass, you go look at the tape on that, it's just like, I don't know, Steve, man. I know you support JJ McCarthy and want to see the kid do good just like me. But I think we got to just start being real, man. Like this next game is going to be interesting. We got the joint practice. Are you going to be at any of the practices, Steve?
I'm not. I wish I was.
Yeah.
I definitely got some work that I can't be away next week, but I wish I was.
But this might be coaching malpractice, bro. Like, not letting him get more reps. Like, why is Wentz playing so much? Why didn't you let JJ McCarthy come back in?
So I'm gonna maybe start controversy here, but so it didn't work out that way to where JJ McCarthy didn't light it up. I mean, obviously this would have been an opportunity for him to sit, really just say, all right, you didn't want to make me the guy. I'm going to come out here and do my thing. That's what I'm sure he wanted to do. But there's two ways of thinking here. Again, did he not play longer because we don't want to hurt trade value and he wasn't having that great of a game?
Right.
Did he not play longer because, what if he does have a good game and, he keeps playing and, he kind of shows out, has a Carson Beck type game. Now he didn't have that.
Right.
But if he does that, are we back to a quarterback controversy type thing if he ends up playing part of the second half and, does some good things? Now he's not playing against first teamers. He's playing against second or maybe third teamers in the second half. But I mean, that could have been a way of thinking as well. But that's all. If you're thinking about hey, stuff that maybe is happening in the background that you think shouldn't be happening. But I think there's not a whole lot you can take from Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
he had one series. I just want to bring this up because people had said that this pass here. This is my take. All right. When I watch this video, to me, that's not a well-placed ball.
No, that's true.
I'll play it another time.
Yeah, play it again. Run it back. Hold on. Let's see
where it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a well-placed ball.
That's behind him. Now, you want to put the ball where, the receiver can get it and the defender can't. I get that. That is a hard ball to bring in. And you're talking about Aaron Jones, who has really good hands.
Yeah.
All I'm saying here, guys, is that's a tough ball. No matter who's out there, I think his body motion is going in the other direction when that ball's released. He's having to switch direction with his body to try to get to it. And it's right there with the fingertips. And I think that's a really tough ball to bring in. Could have had better placement. That's my only criticism on that one. I'm not criticizing Aaron Jones on that one. I just think, again, it's one drive, right? He makes that catch. Maybe the Vikings score a touchdown on there, and it's a totally different conversation. The Vikings did a really good job with running the ball. That's what KOC said that he was going to do with Frank Smith. And we saw really good running, a different run blocking scheme that Frank Smith's bringing in, and they were successful with that largely. Real quick, just want to hit on some other things that I had on that graphic just real quick. Obviously, we had the really sad news with Jamal Adams being carted off. KOC talked a little bit coming out of halftime, and at least I haven't seen any reports as far as what exactly had happened. I'll be honest, right before I jumped on here, I was actually out golfing.
Wow.
So it's possible that Jamal Adams, just with the reactions that we're seeing from players, coaches, Jamal himself, he might be done for the year with that knee injury that he has. And
that's tough.
And that's exactly, and it seems like, teammates, he really kind of gelled quickly. And then we saw, and I posted early, he had that tackle for loss early on. I noted in practice, he had a play where he almost beat JJ McCarthy to Jordan Mason on a handoff. He does a really good job in the blitz game, getting to the quarterback and downhill against the run. I think that's unfortunate. He was definitely a weapon for this defense and to keep quarterbacks guessing. Other things I just wanted to notice on here too. Again, we had 3 sacks, 2 interceptions. We had the young defenders out there, Caleb Banks getting reps. And Dominique Orange was out there. Golday. Now Golday did get juked on that long Devin Singletary type play. Now he did kind of have like a side block put on him as well, but I don't think he was going to make that tackle with the angle and the move that Devin Singletary put on him in the open field. We saw Charles Demings and also James Pierre going against not only Malachi Fields but also Odell Beckham. And again,
Mhm.
that's the battle I was kind of watching. I don't know if I could say either of them really won the day between Pierre and Demings against the Giants. Caleb Tiernan, he had back-to-back penalties. Not he had a holding call that brought back a big gain, and then also a false start and back-to-back plays. So just something to watch. Young guy, it doesn't define him, but it was 2 plays back-to-back. Just rough, kind of a rough little series for Caleb Tiernan out there. And then we saw, like I said, the young guys, Jacob Roberts and um, Jacob Thomas having those interceptions today. So that's kind of my key takes from the day. The top performers on the quarterbacks, defensive. If you guys have anything else, um, let me know. I will post this graphic if you guys would like to take a further look at it. Hopefully you like the stuff I'm putting. I know this is a lot of stuff to look out at once, and this was just a lot of the notes that I took coming from today.
Yeah.
So
No, great graphic, Steve, man. That right there is next level, man, production value. So yeah, that's another reason why I love being on the show with Steve. And, when it comes to breaking stuff down and having all your notes and what you thought, man, you put it together the right way. So that's fire. That's fire, man. Everything you said too. I mean, it's straightforward. It is what it is. Like that's what happened. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Um,
Skull Mafia
how
says,
do you really feel? Oh, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say Skull mentioned that Tyrion Ingram Dawkins missed 2 tackles in a row.
Yeah.
We did see on the second team is where Caleb Banks came out onto the field with Dominique Orange, and Tyrion Ingram Dawkins stayed on the field. That first series we saw Redmond, Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, and Levi Drake Rodriguez. So the first team that came out there, that's where we looked on the inside defensive line. That's something to note. It's interesting that Caleb Banks wasn't on the first team. So I thought that was interesting. Just not trying to make any kind of claim on that. It's just something. It's one preseason game. It's just something interesting to
Yeah.
note that on the first team inside defensive line, it was Redmond, Levi Drake Rodriguez, and Tyrion Ingram Dawkins.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Man, there's a couple plays in there, man. They pushed they pushed Banks back. Banks was getting pushed back, man. Which is surprising. I figured even if he wouldn't be getting any push upfield towards the quarterback, I didn't expect him to be getting pushed back 5-10 yards, man. He was getting washed out in a couple snaps, and I'm like, wow. Somebody Frozen actually put in the chat of my post game show and was like, Rap, I think he's probably not going 100% and pushing off of that foot all the way. And he said, you know what, and I don't mind him not doing that right now. Maybe just waiting until the season starts, like when it really matters. But again, the expectations for Banks, you want him to be making flashes. He also missed the tackle in the backfield where he could have blew up a play, and he missed that tackle too. So, shout out to Banks though. Being out there is good enough for me right now as a fan. Just seeing him out there, he does everything that's been said about him as far as the size, pause if necessary, is true. You see him out there, you're like, yo, that's a big boy. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see what he does during the season and even next preseason game. So I think he'll just stack days from here.
I'll answer it. Boom Boom Skull. I'm not afraid to answer the question.
We were Kirk Stan.
Where was I, Kirk Stan? I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
I did. I don't think what Kirk was able to put together here in Minnesota. He was one of the better quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
But he could not get it done in the playoffs. So there's kind of a two-sided thing to that. Do I think Kirk could have had better opportunities with better defenses? I don't think we really put the defense with the Kirk Cousins teams. I don't think we had the the top defenses like we had with, if we would have had like Flores type defenses, um,
I
it
think
could
the
have been a
outcomes would
different
have been
story,
better.
right?
Yeah.
I don't think that if you look at Kirk's numbers, though, I mean, he wasn't a bad quarterback by any means. But yeah, Kirk had his issues. He overcame a lot of things that were said to him about not performing under the lights. We kind
Yeah.
of saw him overcome a lot of those narratives, and but one he couldn't get over was his performance in the playoffs. So, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, in this league, it's all about winning and winning big games. And unfortunately, Kirk wasn't able to do that.
Yeah, we
So
moved off
I
of
would have
Kirk
loved to
at
see
the
him
right
because I
time.
mean he's just a great guy, So I would
Yeah.
have loved to see him get it done here. It just didn't happen.
And that's what I used to always say about Kirk too. Like, obviously, I was not a Kirk fan at all, but like, I would say that off the field and everything about him, just a great dude. You know what I mean? Like, he's a great dude. It's just for me as a Vikings fan, I just felt like he just didn't have what it take to get there. But yes, numbers wise, stat wise, if you look at that, you would say, well, dang, this is a pretty good quarterback. But a lot of things played into the part of why I wasn't a fan of it. A lot of it had to do with how much we invested in that position with his skill set. Like when you pair both of them together, I think is what bothered me. It's like you're paying this guy that much, and is he really able to overcome the adversity? And we found that out that he's not. That's why we say things like, well, he didn't have the defenses and stuff. It's like, yeah, no, that's why we shouldn't have never invested so much and for so long. I was with it for the first couple of years, I guess. I was like, let's see what happens. But I jumped off that train fairly quickly.
Hey, Two Tone, how many days until Skull Fest? I think I saw. Are
So
we at 28, 27
yeah,
days?
yeah, 20. I
28
think we're
days, I
28.
think.
Yeah,
So guys, if you're not going to Skull Fest, or if you do not know about it, please make sure that you check out the different posters that are being put out there by different social media content creators here in the Vikings community. I know I've been posting about it as well as Rap. And
yep,
yeah, make sure you check it out. Definitely, it's going to be a cool event where you get to meet obviously other Viking fans and some of the other social media creators, and kind of this tight knit community that are kind of coming together. I'll be honest, I'm wishing that I was going to be able to be there. I actually have a big work conflict as well as my son's birthday during that weekend. So decisions have to be made, right? Uh,
absolutely.
so unfortunately, I got my son's birthday that same weekend that I also have work conflict that I'm trying to make everything work in there. So I have back to back kids' birthdays early at those first 2 weekends in September.
Yeah,
So unfortunately,
it's
but
all love though, bro. You gonna be there in spirit. You know what I'm saying? For
and I'm
sure.
potentially going to be doing a giveaway. We'll see. I know
Yeah,
we've talked about it at
yep,
Skullfest. So if you're going there, I plan to possibly do some kind of a package as well, giveaway to those of you that are attending. All right,
yep.
let's go ahead and jump into the next topic, and that's training camp. I was just at training camp. I had a couple days. For those of you that didn't see my tweets or you didn't see my articles on purpleptsd.com, I'll go ahead and talk about those now. And again, if you guys haven't seen my articles, go check it out. Purpleptsd.com, Vikings News Daily, myself, Brevsky. He's also over there at purpleptsd.com shooting out articles. He's the managing editor over there.
Go.
Yeah, go check it out, guys. We're always putting good content out there and good articles on your Minnesota Vikings. I also did some recaps of the days that I was out there at training camp, and rub your eyes a little bit. I'm coming back with another busy graphic for you. Not that one, but this one. All right. Some of my training camp notes that I had from August 11th. Again, I got there. Hey, we got the big news. Kyler Murray's now named the starting quarterback. Came out from Adam Schefter before KOC could even announce it. He's named quarterback one. He has this is the first of the three that he stacked together good practices. Okay.
Mhm.
He looked sharp, and I think JJ had a solid day. But the one thing that I did notice is that he was underthrowing some of his longer throws. So he's learned competing before that was announced. Again, interesting timing. JJ stacked loosely, three victories we can say. in the quarterback battle. And I say that because nobody definitively really won those quarterback ones except for maybe the Sunday night practice, which still wasn't all that great from JJ. The first
Mm.
half was good, but then he kind of trailed off. But Jordan Addison was really sharp. Justin Jefferson had some wow moments on August 11th. And, Miles Price also had a touchdown from JJ McCarthy in 7-on-7 periods. That was just a great atmosphere. I saw Caleb Banks blowing up some plays on the offense. A lot of good running plays from Aaron Jones and also from Jordan Mason on August 13th. Um, August 12th, I went to Mall of America. I kind of got some different quotes that I'll play that video too. But August 13th, what I heard August 12th, JJ or Kyler Murray put together another really good practice. So on August 13th, it was more of a walkthrough type practice, but Kyler Murray still had a really good day. JJ McCarthy looked decent as well too, but he's good in a lot of those short type throws. It's the intermediate and then the long ball type stuff that he has to work on.
Yeah.
I thought the defense was really good. Still a battle that I saw between Pierre and Demings. They're sitting on the second team, and I brought it up last night with SKOL State of Mind with D Woods. It was kind of interesting because I put out my article, I put out these posts and my thoughts, and it's almost like PA was listening to me because then that very next day on the drive home on Friday, he's talking about the very things that I'm putting out there, that it is a CB3 battle between Pierre and Demings, and that's real. One of the things that I had been saying throughout the week is objects in your mirror closer than they appear, James Pierre. Demings is right there. And we kind of saw today that they got to match up against two really good wide receivers. And I don't think I can declare a winner between those two today. But in practice, that's kind of what I saw. And then again, punter battle, the wide receiver battle was probably the most intense thing that I saw on August 13th. I saw some good catches from Jayshon Jones and Ty Felton. Miles Price has been solid throughout the 2 days that I got to see. And then I just think Dante Fleming, even though I don't have him on here, Dante Fleming just stands out. We saw today, he had a punt return that got called back because of a penalty. He can break away. He has that breakaway type speed. So whether it's in the special teams game, but he is very shifty. And I don't want to say he reminds me of a certain player, but he's got
Are you
some
going Percy
shiftiness.
Harvin?
He's got some shiftiness to him, is all I'm saying. I wouldn't say Percy per se, but almost like a Diggsy type
Mm.
thing to him. Is kind of who I was thinking of, I guess. But I
Okay.
don't want to say quite a Diggsy to him, but he's got that shiftiness in his
Yeah.
route running to where he kind of just pops and he stands out when he's running routes on the field. And maybe that's just my take on it. But overall, I thought I saw some really good stuff during practice. But those were my key takeaways is Kyler Murray's, he's leading, he's looking good, comfortable and control in those 3 days, the 2 days for sure that I saw. JJ McCarthy, clearly the QB2, at least in practice. Could that change? I know today Carson Wentz looked comfortable, and I know that there's going to be some comments on that too. But Jefferson and Kyler look to be in sync. And I got to say, Kyler's long ball, he leads receivers so well. From what I saw in practice, just a lot of long balls where he's not putting the wide receiver in a position where they're having to come back for the ball. He leads the receiver really well, and then they're able to get the yak or take it to the house and make a play off of the throw. So I thought that was really good. Camp was fun. Vikings did a really good job. Just based on what you kind of saw from me, Rap, and kind of what I'm saying, did you have any thoughts or any questions? And do you guys have any questions for me as far as what I saw at camp?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you though jumping on the show and talking to me about what you saw that day at camp. I think that was the 11th
Mhm.
that you jumped on afterwards, and that was I mean, it was good because at that point in time, part of me felt bad too, though, Steve, because I know we were looking forward to going and talking about the quarterback battle, and like literally Kevin O'Connell comes out and didn't he name the starter like right before that practice or something? Was it before that practice that he named the starter? Or was it after that one? Was it?
For the quarterback,
Yeah, for the 11th. Didn't he name it? Didn't he call it
right
before that?
who's that? Sorry.
The QB1. He called QB1 right before you went to that first one, right? On
Yeah,
August
that
11th?
first one on August 11th. Well,
Yeah.
Adam Schefter, it came out with Adam Schefter actually like 20 minutes before training camp opened.
Yeah.
I'm seeing tweets by Adam Schefter, and then all of a sudden I'm listening to PA at the same time as I'm rolling up, and
Yeah.
so PA is finding out too like this, and so I think obviously somebody slipped it and it got to Adam Schefter. Who knows if it was K1's
Right.
camp, JJ's camp, whoever.
Right, because we were looking forward to talk. I know we were really looking forward to, nailing down on that and talking about it and that being called. It's like, dang, right when Steve's about to be there, you know what I mean? But like you brought a ton of value because obviously there's more to understanding our team other than the quarterback. I mean, yes, it's important, but you also brought a ton of extra valuable information to my channel by hopping on after practice and talking about Chuck Demings and letting us know like, no, it's real. Because it's one thing when you see people tweet and you see the news from some of our bigger media outlets. I call them ex media outlets, like as far as like Vikings fan page and things like that, people that I love tapping into. But like when you get to actually speak to somebody who was there and sees it in person and they can actually give you that reassurance, like, no, it's real. You know what I mean? Like it's real. This kid and that guy and this guy, they're the real deal. So I appreciate you bringing that to my channel for sure, man. You did some great work out there, man, content wise.
Appreciate that.
Just great work. You really used your time, man, and used your opportunity to go to camp. And I mean, you did your thing, man, with all the videos you put out too.
Yeah, Class G, he says, yeah, Steve, have you talked about the undrafted free agent Jacob Thomas? I did. I covered that. He looked decent today. And, of course, that interception that he had, both him and Jacob Roberts, linebacker, undrafted free agent as well, both undrafted free agents with the interceptions today. Eric Johnson, the second, had a batted ball that almost could have ended up in another interception if a Vikings defensive player would have been able to locate it as it was up in the air. So Brandon Allen almost had 3 interceptions on the day. So it was definitely a rough one for her, for sure.
Garbage, man. It could have at least we didn't have a quarterback look like that.
How much do you think Adam Schefter's insider person gets paid for leaks? I'm sure crazy money because obviously it's tough to stay on top. So I'm sure there's you think NIL is crazy. I'll bet you some of this inside leak stuff is probably just as nuts as that. That's just my take in there. And I appreciate it, Rap, you mentioning that. It's one thing that when you put in so much time and effort into some of this stuff, and it's another thing when somebody says, "Hey, man, I like the stuff that you're putting out." Shout out to Clayton Bigsby. He actually, him and some other guys hit me up. One Bar as well too, from One Bar in Lupagus.
Shout out One Bar, man.
So there were some people hitting me up in comments, thanking me for all the updates that I was given at camp. So I definitely appreciate it. It means a lot, guys. For what I'm trying to do. Eventually, I'm hoping to do this full time. So that's kind of a taste of what it'd be like if I'm able to do this full time here in the future.
You on the right track, man. You on the right track. You feel me? So I tell you, keep doing it because what you do, it's great, bro. I love what you do.
Hey guys, I also pulled some fans out there. I'll have another video dropping tomorrow, but I also pulled, what record do you think the Vikings, and I want to see your guys' comments too. What record do you think the Vikings finish? How many wins do they get on the season now with Kyler Murray as quarterback?
The real question everyone wants to know is how many wins the Minnesota Vikings this year with Kyler Murray as quarterback.
Let's go.
He thinks 11. How about you?
I'm going 11 wins this year.
I think about 13 wins. We still got a good offense, good defense. So
I'm an optimist. 12 wins.
12 wins from
I
Jazz.
thought I was being optimistic with 13.
13 from Mom.
10.
10.
11.
I think we maybe have 9 or 10 wins with him because he wasn't very good on the Cardinals, but he has potential for the Vikings.
Okay, and you?
I think they're going to win 6 games.
Packers.
Go with 11 wins this year.
And with the Kyler Murray-led Vikings, how many wins do you think that they'll have this season?
11. Probably go undefeated.
Undefeated?
Nice. I like that
17
guy.
games. All right.
I'd like to say 12, but with him, extra one, 13 for sure.
I'm going to say 13. Yeah, 13. Kyler Murray's going to go crazy this season.
Realistically, I'm thinking like 9 and 8.
I think they can go 11 and 6.
Nice.
Now I did have another video out there. I didn't play it. I didn't upload it for you guys today. I also did another video that first day on the 11th and got fans' thoughts on, what do you think with Kyler Murray as the quarterback? Was the decision made too early? Did JJ get a fair shot? And are they ready to roll with K1? I can say, everyone was kind of caught off guard with the timing. So kind of mixed reactions from people I talked to there at camp, because I just don't think that people thought that was going to happen at that time after JJ's night practice and 3 straight days of Kyler Murray not playing well. I just think the timing was weird to do that. But all in the all, he's the starting quarterback now, and I hope that us as Vikings fans were able to put the differences aside, if you will, rally behind Kyler Murray and this team, because week 1's going to be rolling up before we know it, and we got a border battle. We got to beat the Packers, and I hope we can throw our support behind Kyler Murray and this team. Even though I don't think Kyler or JJ McCarthy got a fair shot
Right.
in the competition, I don't think that happened. Kind of is what it is. Deck was stacked a little bit in my tell. That when I posted on Saturday before this was even announced, that I was ready for Kyler to be named to the starter. That wasn't necessarily based on performance. It was based on the fact that I felt like the Vikings were showing their hand with the number of snaps. I kept reps, right? I kept talking about the reps, and it was the first team reps that Kyler Murray was getting. To me, I thought that was the tell. You're not giving an opportunity for JJ McCarthy to maybe have the wow plays that we were hearing about. And then also the relationship stuff. And I just think that it was telling even leading into that. But I don't think that JJ had a fair shot in that. But it is what it is. He's handled it very well, I think, to this point. And we'll have to see how where it goes from here.
Yeah, I was one thing too, Steve, that stuck out to me was watching Chris Carter, the interview he did after Kyler Murray was named the starter. And Chris Carter revealed that he spoke to a lot of the wide receivers, and they also were leaning Kyler too. He was like, they told me Kyler too. And I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? Like this is crazy. So that goes to say, I'm sure Justin Jefferson. Now, do they make the ultimate decision? No. But, I'm sure their voices were heard, specifically Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, because they're assets to the team, to the offense. And so I'm sure they reached out and asked, like, hey, where your guys' head at with the quarterback thing thus far? Who do you think? And the word is they all leaned Kyler. So we'll see, man. I mean, at the end of the day, Kyler has to prove himself. He's going to have to go out here and ball. The people think about his last couple of years, and they haven't been the best. But, you got to remember, same thing with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold wasn't nothing, bruh, 2 years ago until he got with us. When I say 2 years ago, I'm talking 23 and 22. Man, nobody cared about Sam Darnold. You thought he fell off. He was a bust at that point, pretty much. And then look what happened. So let's just keep that same type of energy for Kyler.
First team offense and defense today. I still think that there's a lot of potential in seeing the records in the chat. 12-5, 11-6, the 17-0. Not realistic,
Let's
but
go.
It's nice thinking. Barber Fade Up says 14-3. Real
go.
Sir D says 12-5. Big Nut says I think 13. So where I'm at early in the season, my number I had us at was 11.
Me too.
We could be at a different point closer to the season. I need to see again, keep stacking the wins.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. Hey, my dad's in here, right? I hardcore 60-year fan going for
Shout out
14 wins.
Pops.
So my dad's saying 14 wins. Thanks for
14.
joining. Appreciate
Let's
that.
go, Pops.
But yeah, I mean, it's possible. But I would just say I got to see more consistency out of this team with the quarterback position, really. And then again, you talked about Caleb Banks maybe getting pushed around a little bit. It was interesting that he was playing with the second team today. We'll see if that develops anything else from that. But that's right, Figgy. Papa Playbook is in the chat.
Let's go.
Tim Slack says 10-7. Mary Fist says 13 wins, 12 until today. Class G33 says he didn't like Kyler's play, I'm guessing, is what he's hinting at there. But yes, so another topic I want to jump into next, guys, and that's great that we have optimism, and we're going to get to see some of that optimism play out, where I think, today was a lot of vanilla type stuff. We're going to see some more action when we take on the Ravens in joint practices 19 and 20 August. That joint Ravens practice that we're going to have, we're going to be facing some dogs. We're talking about Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews. You got some real players on that team. So it's going to be interesting to see how our players stack up against them defensively or offensively. And, emotions usually tend to run a little bit high during those joint practices a little bit too, because you want to make a name for yourself. You want to be the cornerback that's able to shut down a player like Jordan Addison or Justin Jefferson. So they're going to try to do some of that. So here's some of the things to look into before we get in to the giveaways, guys. This is the last topic before we get there, guys. We're getting close. So remember, make sure that you're a subscriber for that free
Jordan qualify
autograph jersey. If you're a subscriber, Rap, you're in it. If you're a subscriber, you're in the runnings. So a random winner will be chosen tonight. All right. So some of the battles to watch, again, quarterback development, again, just continued growth of these guys. Kylie was named the starter. I just want to see how this continues to go and how those joint practices go as well. Safety competition, we don't have Harrison Smith. Blake Brandell as well too. We've seen some fumble snaps, so let's see what happens with continued reps with Kyler Murray. Do we continue to have those issues, or are those going to be resolved with more and more consistency as far as who he's transitioning the ball with at the center position? Wide receiver depth chart, wide receiver 6 battle. I think wide receiver 4 is in 5 is pretty much locked up. It's just whether it's Ty Felton or Miles Price. But the depth behind Jefferson, Addison, Jennings, and Ty and Miles Price, you got Dylan Bell, Dante Fleming, and then also I forgot to add him on here, but also Jayshon Jones, I think is a top contender for that as well too. Jayshon Jones just runs really good routes, and he's got reliable hands. He's Mr. Reliable in my opinion. It's just Dylan Bell has that raw talent. Dante Fleming has that flash that pops off the screen. So it's going to be an interesting decision between those 3, in my opinion. CB battles for quarterback 3 and 4. Again, is it going to be James Pierre or Chuck Demings? And then for 5 is Nudie or Zemiah Vaughn going to take those spots? So another quarterback battle to continue to watch. And then that offensive line chemistry in the run game improvement. Does that continue? Well, we saw a really good run game, especially out of our first team offensive line and out of Mason and Jones. Can we continue that at joint practices and then going into that preseason game versus the Ravens? Some of those players, again, that I talked about already, Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers. You also can't forget Rashad Bateman. I talked about Mark Andrews. And then on defense, we got to contend with Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, Marlon Humphrey, and Nate Wiggins. So they have some players on defense that we have to be able to show and Kyler Murray has to be able to show that he can get the ball to our star receivers against some pretty good cornerbacks in Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins. And again, that front seven pressure, they got a new head coach and Jesse Minter, who's got a defensive background. Does that change a little bit of the look for them? And how does our offensive line stand up? These are all interesting and key things that I think are something that we should pay attention to as far as what we're getting word from camp, or if you're attending camp. These are all things that I think I want to see. I want to find out how we're doing. Rap, what say you?
Man, same exact. If I did a list, it would be just like what you put. I'm excited to see all of the above, and I think we need to see all of the above. I think, and you know what? I will say this too: the Ravens. I wouldn't want any other team because I do think it's going to be a challenge. Like it's a gritty, team. Always they're well coached. At least they were with Harbaugh. We'll see how Minter does, but woo! Let's go. You want 2 claps in the Ricky, man? I got you.
Give it to him. Give it to him.
Got you. Let's go, man. I think the Ravens. I just think the Ravens are they're a good test for us, especially doing a joint practice. Feels like it's going to be one of the better ones. I feel like it's going to be a lot of tempers flaring, which is a good thing. We'll get some good battles, and I'm excited. This year I'm excited every year, really. But this year it feels good. It feels good. I'm gonna hold my mouth closed, I guess, and not get too ahead of myself when it comes to what I really think is going to happen, specifically at the quarterback position. I'm just gonna let it play out and not put my foot in my mouth. But I think our team's gonna be really good this year. And I think starting this upcoming week with the joint practice with the Baltimore Ravens, it's gonna tell us a lot. Do it with those 2 practices and then going into the preseason game against them. So I can't wait.
Rap, what do you think is going to be like? What do you think we're going to hear from these practices? Do you think we're going to hear more positives, or do you think we're going to start to hear that maybe we've been a little bit too high on this team?
I think we're gonna hear positives. I think our team's set up to just be positive, hear positives. Like especially on the defensive side of the ball. I don't really know if there's gonna be much negatives other than obviously the JJ McCarthy talk. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real. Like JJ McCarthy talk is gonna be the only thing that's gonna be somewhat negative. That's it, because there's gonna be arguments between fans. There's going to be a clip of a throw, and then there's going to be a clip of an interception. And there's going to just be a bunch of crap going on. And it could be negative about Kyler, too. I mean, I could see Kyler throwing an interception or something, and then fans overreact to it. But we got to remember, it's practice. Relax. I mean, it's just practice. We're going to see when the game comes. But I think we'll hear more positive, though, Steve, for sure. There's going to be a lot of positive talk coming out of these joint practices for the Minnesota Vikings. Brian Flores is no BS, man. When it comes to our defense, man, I think he's going to make it tough on Lamar Jackson. If we remember, he made it tough on Lamar Jackson last time we played them. Now, they ultimately wound up winning the football game, but it wasn't easy. And Lamar Jackson to come out and tell you that, like, bro, going up against Brian Flores' defense is no joke. And it's funny. I was on with TP he's a New York Giants content creator, Steve, that I had on. And I go back to him asking, hey, you think Brian Flores is going to really, like, you think he's going to be blitzing us and doing all this, that, and the third? Well, shit, they found out real quick today that Brian Flores doesn't care if he's practicing against his own team, the Minnesota Vikings, doing walkthroughs, bro. He blitzing. All right, he going to bring it to you. So I can't wait to hear the reports of the defense coming out against the Baltimore Ravens offense this week. He said Wentz will be quarterback 1. God.
Class G33 says, I think we're going to know more about these rookies and who is legit. I think absolutely so.
True.
Mary, I appreciate it. Great show, she says. Thanks to myself and Raph. Thanks to Raph for joining. Yeah, absolutely. And thank for you guys, Mary, you included, for watching. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. I love that lady.
Can't stop praising NFC Player of the Week, FBS champion JJ. Oh man. What do we see from Metellus this year? Yeah, I mean, is Metellus starting to fade and kind of fall off, or is he able to still step back? Fig Nuts also talks about it. We don't know if Hitman 22 is going to come back. We'll see if
What do you feel
Harrison
about
Smith.
that? Do you think would you want him back, Steve?
Yeah, absolutely. I want him back.
Yeah.
If he does come back, I do think he's going to wait at least a couple of games in to see if Kyler Murray's for real and if this team has a shot to make a run. And I think if
Right.
we do, in talking to Kyle Sloter, he still thinks that Harrison Smith has the fire in the belly to come in. When I had Kyle Sloter on the show, he went golfing with Harrison Smith. Now Harrison did say, "Hey, that's what I'm looking to do." There is a very real possibility he's done. But I
Yeah.
think if we start off hot, and I think in those first 5 games we
But
start
if we
off
start off hot,
four
why
and
do we
one.
need him?
You take a look at our safety depth. I think that's definitely, especially after losing Jamal Adams with
Yeah.
some of the blitz capability and what Harrison Smith's able to do.
Mhm.
I think he brings another element to this defense that allows Flores to do some different things.
True.
So I definitely think that Harrison still has something left in the tank to add. I'd love to see him back. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wanna see Jacoby Thomas get out there, man. Hopefully we get to see some of him this week here in the next preseason game. I feel like this would have been a game to really get a gauge on him because he's somebody who could also help with that decision if I want to really push the narrative of, yeah, let's bring Harrison Smith back. I know with Jamal Adams going down, obviously it's like, dang, because it's obvious that the team approached Jamal Adams and brought him to the Vikings to kind of fill that void. It was obvious once they changed his number and did all that.
Hmm.
And now that that plan has really crashed, now it's like, okay, now what? Right. So now it's time to see if the young player, Jacoby Thomas, can do something in a actual game. And my thing is, Steve, real quick, and then I know we'll move on, is if we start off 5-0, 6-0, or whatever, I'm sorry, but Harrison Smith, brother, we at this point we good. Like for real, man. We need you if we need help. If we start off like that, we don't need help, obviously. We got it figured out. So then at that point, just continue golfing. That's just kind of where I'm at with it. But I love Harrison Smith, one of my favorite Vikings of all time and will be. Um, I'm just saying, I think it's time to it's time to close that chapter, in my opinion, and move on with some young players at that position.
So what I'm doing in the background, if any of you guys are wondering, I'm actually trying to get the giveaway set up
Let's
for
go.
names to pick a random name based
Dang, I
on
hope I win this jersey, man. What is that, Jordan Addison?
It's Jordan Addison. And guys, I'm just about ready to do another giveaway announcement as well. So now
Jordan
if you
Addison.
guys are ready, you guys ready to do a card break? I think we
Yeah,
should
we
do
didn't do the
the
card
break
break.
first.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think we should do the card break first.
Yeah.
If you guys are ready for that, this is what I need you to do. I need you to go ahead and pick your player in chat. You get one NFL player. Once it's chosen, you can't choose that same player. You got to pick somebody else. Here we go. I'm not telling you what pack it's going to be yet. It could be one that's on the screen or it could be a different pack, but you need to choose one NFL player that you want to go with. And once that player is chosen, no one else. Fig Nuts goes and grabs Jetta's early. Justin Jefferson was the card that was pulled last week. Nobody picked a Viking player on a Vikings podcast, and it was Justin Jefferson. There was multiple.
Oh, so we got to
cards.
we just pick any player in the NFL.
Correct. Yep.
And if you pull it, then it's
Frozen North chooses Harrison Smith. So Jettas and Harrison Smith right now are currently off the board. So you could get in here right now. I'll take whatever name you're looking to go. Too Evil took Kyler Murray, so they're going fast, guys. Justin Herbert's off the board. Think about who you guys want. And this is a 2025 pack. So it has to be somebody that played in 2025. So it can't be a current rookie. Brock Purdy is now off the board. Drake May is off the board. CeeDee Lamb is off the board. Kyle Hamilton is now off the board. Aaron Rodgers is off the board. Lamar Jackson is off the board. Boom, did I miss you? Oh, Boom Boom SKOL did have Justin Jefferson before you, Fig Nuts. I did miss that.
Pick a new one, Fig.
Fig, you got to pick a new one. Boom
Pick
Boom
a new
SKOL, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. I did miss that one. Thank you. Sorry, I got a lot of comments flooding in.
JJ McCarthy.
Sam Darnold is off the board. Jameer Gibbs is now off the board. Jordan Addison is on the board. And Fig Nuts, I appreciate you acknowledging that Boom Boom did beat you to that one. All right, I'll give a few more seconds before I do this card break. This is kind of
cool. I like this.
I'll give a few more seconds before I do the card break, guys. Now that I have most of you guys that have done your pick, are you guys about ready to see what pack we're ripping today? This is actually the first time I've ripped this pack on this type of pack on a stream, so pretty cool. Class G33, did you pick? Do you got a player in here? I probably read it off.
He picked
but
somebody, yeah.
There's a lot of players.
He picked Brock 30.
Here we go, guys. We're going Prism. We're going
Prism
2025 Prism. There's going to be 4 cards pulled out of here. If any of them are the player that you guys selected in chat, once I start ripping this, no more names. So if you haven't guessed already, you're out of it. So
yo, this is first of all, I got to say, Steve, this is a cool ass segment.
Thanks. I appreciate that. So we're ripping 2025 Prism, guys. Again, if you picked Brock Purdy and I pull a Brock Purdy card, it doesn't matter if this is a numbered autograph card, it's going to you guys.
Nice.
So there's packs that I'm pulling with like downtowns, kabooms. And if I pull any of those and they're yours.
Hold on. Let Mary pick a different. Mary, Addison's already
gone. Mary.
So pick somebody else, Mary. Let's wait for her to pick one real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
We gotta let her pick one. Do like Dallas Turner or something.
Oh, there we go. Fig Nuts, a gentleman says, I'll take Dallas Turner. Mary can have Addison.
There you go. Okay.
Does that work, Mary? Ooh, I just had a Christian Darisaw come in. Blood Eagle. All right.
Let's go, man.
Nice.
Shout out Fig, man. Shout out Fig giving Mary Addison. Let's go. And he take Dallas Turner. I was going to say take DT.
Guesses are now closed. So the last one was Darisaw. Anyone else that comes in, you are officially too late. I do this every stream, guys. Every stream, I do a card break.
Yeah, this is fire. I love it.
Make sure you guys are tuning in. All right. Here we go. Very first card that we're going to see on screen. Christian Wilkins is the first pick.
Wilkins. Okay.
The Raiders.
Boo. Weirdo.
See if we see any color on here. Ooh, I see some kind of a laser that's in here. So I'm going to pull from the back here first because that front one or that 1 second to the back is a laser. Okay. I need to switch my hands with my mic here. So I kind of see that there's KC coming from the back. And it's Chris Jones.
Chris Jones. Okay.
All right. So we had Chris Jones. There's only 4 cards. And we had Christian Wilkins. The very next card that I'm pulling out. This is hard to do with this angle, by the way. So I apologize. I'm going to have to switch on my, because I do have multiple cameras. Ooh, we got a Raven. We got a Raven.
I thought it was Kyle Hamilton. I thought it was my Kyle Hamilton, bro.
We had Terrell Suggs. Let me just look at this. That is a refractor. So that's a refractor Terrell Suggs right there. So that's a nice one. All right, here we go.
And shout out T Suggs.
It's a laser. So this one's an insert. So it's a laser prism. Oh, we got Chargers, and it's Derwin James Jr.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a Viking. He's supposed to be a
Derwin
Viking.
James Jr.
Hey, you know what?
Almost on that one.
Did he sign with anybody yet?
Derwin James? You asked some good questions.
Who was the guy? Who was the guy?
Derwin
Not
James
Derwin
is always
James.
with.
Yeah, not Derwin James. Who was the cornerback we were going after? From the Chargers that had the neck problem.
Oh, that was. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What's his name?
I'm having a mind blank right now.
Drop it in the
Asante Samuel
chat.
Jr.
Asante Samuel. There we go. Asante Samuel. That might be the guy we go after there. There you go.
So, because I don't want you guys to think that I'm doing this incorrectly, or that I'm cheating you, or I'm just picking a friend. I'm gonna share my screen.
When I win, you know what I mean? I don't want y'all to think, oh, he just did it because Rap's on here.
That's right.
Nah, I won for real.
So now we're ready to do the Jordan Addison jersey giveaway.
That's mine.
Now, before I do the jersey giveaway, I got to announce to you our next giveaway after this. So the next giveaway that we're doing, guys, here it is. Let me just get rid of, make sure I don't have anything else on stage here. Here we go.
Hey guys, I'm Ben, CEO of Sports Legends USA, where we partner with Viking legends such as Carl Eller and help them promote their brands with giveaways, memorabilia, sponsorships, and allowing you guys to connect with them on social media and the website.
Can't thank Ben enough. Carl Eller, autographed jersey. It's going to be our next giveaway for Vikings Playbook. Make sure that you go to YouTube, subscribe Vikes Playbook. Once we get to 400 subscribers, one of you lucky subscribers are going to win this Carl Eller jersey. Again, that's all compliments of Ben and Sports Legends USA. Thanks, guys.
SKOL.
Nice.
All right, guys. So there you have it. We got our next giveaway. It's going to be a Carl Eller Purple People Eaters. Guys, you're going to get an autographed Carl Eller jersey. And again, I got to roll it one more time. Thanking my sponsor over at Sports Legends USA.
The Vikings Playbook Podcast is brought to you by SportsLegendsUSA.com. Check out their website for all of your Minnesota Vikings legends, upcoming appearances, and signings. And remember to use code PLAYBOOK for 15% off in their shop for your favorite merchandise. Sports Legends USA, connecting sports legends with fans, one legacy at a time.
Like a real deal commercial, man. That's a real deal, man. Production. Let's
Frozen
go. Shout out
North.
Sports Legends.
If you're a subscriber on YouTube, you're automatically into this giveaway. I'm doing a random name picker from subscribers. You got a whiteout Addison jersey. This is a Winter Warrior jersey here that's coming out. Blood Eagle says that's dope. Carl Eller. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, that's
Carl
fire.
Eller. So I'm glad that you guys
quick, Steve,
are digging that.
That's the ones that do the podcast, right? That's what that's all related to. The Sports Legends USA, they got a podcast with the.
So they actually partner with SKOL Marketing. So Ben is also the CEO at SKOL Marketing.
Okay,
as well too. So
Yeah.
the Jim Bob Sports Jamboree that Chuck Foreman's on. Yes, that's done in their studio. That's actually where I interviewed Chuck Foreman.
Show.
And I'm just gonna throw this out there. I also have an upcoming Viking legend interview that I'm going to be lining up here. That's going to be coming soon. I'm not ready to announce it yet. Almost did it here this last week. Just timing just didn't work out, but pretty cool.
Nice, nice, man. Great connection.
All right, guys. You guys ready for this? I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see this. I put names in a random name picker. I was going to do a wheel and spin a wheel. I'm going to do 5 names. So the first name that's picked, it's not you. Second, it's not you. Third, it's not you. Fourth, it's not you. The 5th time I do random names, the 5th person is getting this jersey. Actually, the 3rd person.
Oh, if I'm about to say, if I get picked number 4 or something, I'm going to be like,
the 3rd person is going to get this. It's number 3. So we got to go the 3rd person.
3-3, man.
Jordan Addison, right? 3-3. So let me go ahead and share my screen here, guys.
Let's go, man.
All right, here we go. Very first name that's going to be chosen here.
We can't see
Timothy Ware.
We can't see the screen.
it. Oh, I did one.
So we don't know. We don't know, Steve. Was it Timothy? Was it Timothy? We don't know. We don't know.
Timothy was the first one that I picked.
Wait a minute.
So, but that's not the winner, right?
Yeah, no.
All right, here we go for the next one. Oh, Ben can't win his own jersey, right? But Ben Thies was the second name. But
Ooh, that'd have been crazy.
Well, actually, Ben, this is actually my jersey. This isn't Ben's. So this one I supplied, but Ben did supply in Sports Legends USA the Carl Eller jersey.
All right, so this is the winner right here.
This is the winner.
Okay, let's go.
K-Dubs high five.
K-Dubs high five. Let's go.
I want to say that this is probably K-Dub from the Purple Dopes with Hopes.
Hey.
I want to say it probably is. I don't know if that's his YouTube account.
Is that like his personal YouTube, maybe? That gotta be K-Dub.
It definitely could have been. So K-Dubs high five is the winner.
That sounds like something he would have said too. A K-Dubs high five. Like he has that type of energy.
So K-Dubs high five. I need proof that it's your account. So please make sure that you message me.
Let's see. Yeah, that's him.
X. That is him.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that I get proof.
Man, that's crazy. Shout out to bro, man. Hey, I'm happy he won.
So hopefully you guys like the fact that I'm being open with it. I'll do that for all of my giveaways. Maybe I'll do them in different ways, but I always want to make sure that you guys see what I'm doing. Hey guys, I'm gonna pull this out for you. This is the next giveaway, guys. Here it is. Carl Eller.
Nice.
Right here, guys. So at 400 subs, and the way that I get to 400 subs is obviously you guys continuing to be a subscriber, you guys spreading the word, whether it's reposting posts that I have out there, telling people to subscribe, get the word out for Vikings Playbook. I appreciate all the love that you guys are giving. I do card breaks every single podcast. I can't even express to you guys how many giveaway items I have to give away to you Vikings fans this season. I have autographed cards, autographed helmets, autographed jerseys, other autographed memorabilia that I plan on doing giveaways all this season. And you guys are able to be in the runnings as long as you guys are subscribers here at YouTube. I'll probably do some stuff on Twitter as well on the side for some different giveaways. But absolutely, the next one is going to be that Carl Eller jersey, guys. You could have that Purple People Eater Carl Eller jersey yourself, signed and autographed for your man cave.
Nice.
Rap.
I just text K-Dub too, man. I told him I'm excited. He told him to reach out to you.
Rap. I want to thank you so much, guys. If you're not already following Rap, make sure that you do that on social media. X Vocal Vike, and on YouTube also Vocal Vike. Make sure that you go check him out. Rap, any last thoughts or words that you have for the audience?
Man, I just want to say, get excited for the season. I think it's going to be a good season. There's going to be ups. There's going to be downs, just like every year. Hopefully the ups outweigh the downs. But again, shout out to you, Steve, and all the work you do, bro. Like, seriously, man, I watch what you do, and you're an inspiration to me, man. You know, you put in the work for sure. Graphics, production value. You could tell you take your craft serious. And I love working with people like you, man, and you being part of our team. When I say our team, I mean Vikings content creators. You know what I mean? We got us a real one on our side that brings us entertainment. So I appreciate you, brother, having me on and always inviting me and always, you know, giving me my flowers, not just when I'm in the room, but even on your own time when you're speaking with other people, man, you shout me out, bro. So thank you for that. And I can't wait to keep talking ball with you, man. It's a long season ahead of us. We made it. And man, it's gonna be a great journey in 2026, baby. I'm telling you, man. I can't wait to see what the conversations are after about 6 weeks. Because I think it's gonna get interesting.
Thanks.
Sure.
I appreciate that, Rap. And like I said, you guys, you don't truly know how good of a person Rap is. He's helping not just you know, myself. As a, you know, starting up my YouTube channel and being able to come on the show and helping me get some exposure. He's done this for so many different podcasters out there too. So can't say enough about Rap's just the kind of person that he is and his character. So again, I'm showing love because it's facts,
Right.
so definitely appreciate and I have your number, you have mine.
Absolutely.
And I know I know that none of this is possible, obviously, Rap, for you or for I, without all these people that are in the chat. This is awesome to see today. I know that we were doing a giveaway, guys, but I'm doing giveaways every week. I have tons of stuff I want to give to you guys as Vikings fans, and I think it's exciting. We're going to have a good year. It's going to be a fun year. Thanks so much. Make sure that you guys hit that subscribe, hit that like button, share the love. Let's get to 400. Let's do that giveaway for Carl Eller jersey.
Yeah.
And as soon as we hit 400 with the Carl Eller, I got another one ready for you. So we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways, a lot of chances for you guys to win. Appreciate it so much, guys. For myself and for Rap, this has been Vikings Playbook. Your Sunday starts here, guys. SKOL Vikings. We're out here.
Go.